What up, you lab rats? This is episode number 24, and we're talking about thinking like a startup. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the lab. My name is Megan.
I'm Kevin.
And let's get in the lab. All right, so how are you, V?
I'm doing well. This is the first, not the first week, second week of January.
Second week,
and
right? Is this the second show of the year?
I believe so.
Wow, cool.
And I'm really relaxed because there's no weddings on the weekends until this weekend.
Yeah.
But
You had a nice 2-week break?
Yeah, a nice 2-week break, and that's all I usually need.
Yeah.
It's
you
just
start getting a little
It's just the winter weather.
antsy.
Yeah, I get a little antsy because, it's like a part of my routine that I'm always gone on a weekend.
How does it feel like when you're just like, you're like, okay, what do I do today?
Pretty boring.
What you been doing?
Watching Breaking Bad.
I'm
pretty addicted right now.
You never watch TV ever, and you don't get into any shows or anything. You don't give a damn about celebrities, but like you're hooked on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like something about it is pretty cool.
I told you it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably major shows, tons of shows out there that are just like that. They suck you in though, but that's like you just have to binge on it.
Yeah, it just depends on what show that catches my attention. I mean, not all the shows I can sit like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. It's a nail biter.
Yeah.
So
it's just because it's really raw.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
You're just a little late.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, yes, we know.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad is good.
Whatever.
All right, so I have something different for us today.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to talk about thinking like a startup, and you came across an article and all that, which inspired this show, and we also have a question to answer. But since we ran out of the fiance tag, we have a new tag.
Oh yeah. What is that?
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And usually this is called couples 1, 2, 3 tag. So usually we're on film like we are right now, and you say 1, 2, 3. We answer the question. We say 1, 2, 3, and then you answer it.
Oh,
and you don't. You only have like 3 seconds to answer. But I think we're gonna take that out because some of these questions I was looking through, they're pretty deep.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of cool to just like let our thoughts kind of ramble on.
I think I've seen this before on.
Tons of people have done this. It's kind of old, but like we're catching up and whatnot. So the first question, all right. So, B, what do you see yourself doing with your life in 5 years, 10 years?
5 years and 10 years?
10 years, yeah. So 5 years.
All right, so I see myself in 5 years probably expanding Kevin Levu Photography. Just probably 2 associate photographers working for themselves within the company. And with me either running another business that we both love.
Cool.
And I mean, we're talking about that right now within this year, brainstorming ideas, and we really have to remind ourselves that we have to love it, that we're passionate about this idea other than just throwing the money just to invest it.
Yeah, you could just throw money and invest in something, and it's very possible, but
then you won't love it. You want to make sure,
why do it if you don't love it?
10 years down the line, I'm probably seeing myself, whatever I'm doing on the 5th year, just improving it like we're improving Kevin Levu Photography.
10 years. You're going to be 38.
Yeah.
38.
But we opened Kevin Levu Photography roughly when I was like 22, 23, and now it's like 5 years down the line from when we first started, and we're improving it. So I see myself in the next 10 years doing whatever that we're doing right now and applying it to our other businesses.
Cool.
How about you?
In 5 years, I want to. I don't know.
Really?
Hopefully, I will have established myself, and I don't really know what that even means. But definitely don't want to be working as hard as I am right now. Perhaps maybe I'm still working hard, but it's more of the stuff that I really, really love to do. Like right now, I'm doing a lot of things, and not necessarily I love doing all of it. I love doing certain things within those things, and I want to focus more on doing that. So a lot of more like introspective stuff and more writing. I want to write like a book.
Yeah, she's a really good writer.
Well, I want to write a book, and like, I don't know what that's going to mean. I've already tried. I like, had my little, half-assed attempts at it, but I want to like go full force and hopefully have a book out. But I don't know, like
write your own like sort of anime-ish
love
story or something.
I also like my like secret dream is to like create like a story or characters involved in like a video game, or make a video, because I'm a big gamer, but story is really important to me, and like story and character development are like super. Those are like my secret desires. Like creatively, like where can I go back to my roots of like having just a bunch of fun drawing, creating story, creating characters and stuff like that. Like that's a big reason why I enjoy games, because of that portion of it.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, dang, I'm gonna be 39. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm like
38.
I think in 10 years, I'm gonna be making soaps.
Oh.
And like have my own like natural line and stuff, because we were talking about that earlier. Like I was getting really excited about it just now, like watching all these tutorials, and it looks just so like therapeutic, and like the smells and the making. And I always love making things with my hands, and like I want to make stuff.
Yeah, maybe you can make one of your characters into a soap.
Yeah. So so in 10 years, I want to be like making my own soaps, hopefully like growing my own food,
designing your own labels.
Yeah.
So there's designing
and like shit like that. I love that stuff, but I never really go full force, because it always kind of feels like, oh, that's not the money maker, and I need to focus on what makes money. But like, that's kind of like I really want to be doing that stuff. I like that stuff. So like I would have a shed outside. It would be cool. It'd be cool. That's what I want to be doing in 10 years. That's a long ass time. I gotta make it happen. Just my own little shack where I make shit.
Yeah.
All right. I think we pummeled that one.
Yeah.
So
I actually like the 1, 2, 3 tag more than.
It's a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you think a little bit. I was like, I don't know.
It's a lot better.
I don't know what I'm going to do in 5 years. I don't know what I'm going to do next week.
I mean, that's what I heard from Gio and Bart.
Yeah, Gio and Bart. Yeah. Shout out to Barbell Brigade. I love them.
Yeah.
And what they're doing and what they're creating. You should check them out. They're local here in LA. They have like their own gym and stuff. And I swear, if I didn't hate LA and driving to LA, I'd be over at that gym. Lifting.
Yeah, if there was a bullet train made already, we'll be there in 10 minutes.
All right. So, B, you actually inspired this show, which is cool. I like that you're like, oh, let's do this. Usually I'm the one thinking of stuff, but it's a nice break, because now I get to focus on what we're doing, because we made that transition. And my mind is just all about KLV and Snap It Fancy right now. So that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you came to me with this article that you got from entrepreneur.com, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like sitting in the bathroom, the leisure read.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, we're like brainstorming, like I said, on what we should either franchise or invest our money into right now. And I came across an article from entrepreneur.com that spoke about your investors want to invest based on these criterias, and this is what they're looking at when they're seeing your company.
Yeah, we'll link it up. It's basically here's the title of the article. It's like 25 reasons why I'm not going to invest in your startup.
Yeah.
So it's a great little reminder. And so, I go, okay, great. This article is really awesome. Like you read it to me while I was cleaning.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, these are all really, really good. So, and I said, okay, there's 25 of them. Pick one or two.
Exactly.
So which one like really kind of stood out to you, and what do you want to kind of talk about today?
Well, first I want to address that in these type of businesses that the article is referring to as investors, we're going to interpret it as these investors are customers. So,
and why should we look at our customers as investors?
Because they believe in you. Your customers are believing your product. They believe in you. If your brand is personable, they're going to trust you.
That's what you want, right?
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure your investors, your customers, are fully invested into you.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
and they know that you're true to your product. So if you're true to your product, you're true to yourself, then they can trust you.
Yeah, it just answers the questions. Why should I buy from you? Why should I choose you as my wedding photographer, where there are tons out there that seem to do the same thing?
Exactly.
So you educate your customer as if they were an investor in your startup company, right? So why should I trust you? Why should I invest my, $3,500 of my hard-earned money into your business? Are you going to return? Are you going to be fabulous, amazing? Like what? Tell me.
Yeah.
Right? So what's one that really kind of stood out to you that maybe like it reminded you, oh, we need to be doing this or whatever?
Well, I need to pull that. The most important one that kind of stood out to me was the founder or the CEO is uncoachable. The reason why is that if you're the CEO and you're not open-minded and all these people are telling you criticisms, very positive criticism, or what's that word of very productive type of criticisms, or even
constructive
criticisms, or even your coworkers or your co-partners are telling you certain things and you're just shutting them out, shutting out their ideas and not listening to them. That means that you're not willing to grow your business. So someone that is very closed-minded, your customers aren't willing to invest into you, because how about they have some ideas for you to improve your product, or just a suggestion, and you just shut them out. Then no one's being heard. It's very selfish, and it's just basically just you and the company.
Right.
So I also came across this quote is like, the day that you stop growing your business is when your business is actually dying. Right?
Yeah.
So
if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
If you're not evolving, you're dying.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. Yeah, that's very true. And sometimes, we had this conversation last night because you were having, every now and again, you get like a little like breakdown. You're like, oh my God, we have to invest our money. It's just sitting there. I'm like, okay, let's do something.
Yeah.
And then you list all the reasons of like how it's going to be difficult for us.
Yeah.
And so you, like most people, you get in your own way. And then like, I'll create suggestions or whatever, like change. And like, I understand now. Before I would get defensive if I suggested you a change or an idea, and then you didn't like respond to it. I would get like kind of butthurt before. Now I'm just like, okay, it's just a suggestion, but we have to make a move on something.
Yeah.
If we don't move forward, we just stay put, and now we just, keep complaining and we never grow.
Exactly.
And so like, it's up to you to be decisive, right? Even though maybe it doesn't work out, like at least you move forward and you knew and you eliminated that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Making soaps was not profitable. Okay, whatever. So you just, as a matter of moving forward, we have to do that, whatever that is. Otherwise, you have these little breakdowns. You're like, what do I do with my money? It's just sitting there. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, let's do something.
Exactly.
What do you want to do? Have you like come to any headway as to which direction you want to move forward as far as investing? Like what ideas that we talked about last night are even in your head right now? Like,
yeah, I mean, currently I'm like just inspired in options like franchising in a hobby that you really like.
Yeah.
So you find a company that inspires you.
Yeah.
And hopefully that company has opportunities for franchising, and you just speak with them.
Cool. Okay.
And you as a franchisor believe in their company and their success. So
that could be a whole nother show as far as to like how that even goes down. Like I have no idea about franchise. I was like, okay.
The reason people franchise is that you believe in that person, how they run business, and they have a business model and a business plan that's pretty systematic that you like, versus you try and think of an entire new business and try to be their competitor.
So like not reinventing the wheel kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they basically no one's perfect, but they basically perfected it for their own niche or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'm down with that. It's just, a matter of execution and what it takes to actually make
overhead costs,
make that move. What does that even mean? So I think that's going to be really interesting if we want to move in that direction. Like that's going to be a whole nother project, but at least we'll be moving forward.
Yeah.
So anything else that kind of stood out to you in this list? You're keeping things from me. What are you keeping from me?
So other things is like what you whispered. Keeping things from me.
What things? What am I keeping from you?
But yeah, just with anything, when you're causing like questions, people are thinking of questions, or they're suspicious about something about your business, or you're just not answering their questions thoroughly. You're keeping something away from them. So, for example, for photography, in some cases where other photographers will provide clients with medium res photos, if the client never asked, they would never know what resolution those images are and what they're receiving. So that's something like you're keeping that away from them.
Oh, I see.
In a way. So you have to be
full of transparency.
Yeah, why this is like very important is that you should be always truthful within your product and how you present yourself. And every little detail, there shouldn't be no hidden fees, no hidden lines to make people question about your product or make people question about you as the owner of your business.
Right. Like we were just charging somebody through. We were using PayPal, and then all of a sudden we were charged like we didn't know how they came up with this fee, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, so did you round up or what? Like that's really still not clear.
PayPal says that their transaction fee for using credit card or when you're providing a service, they charge you 2.9% per transaction plus 30 cents. So I did the calculation. Everything was the number, right?
Yeah.
For that transaction. And when I looked back, it actually took a little bit more. And I found out PayPal actually rounds up when they clearly said 2.9%.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck, man?
So do I just always round up 2.9?
Yeah.
That's really kind of shady business.
Yeah.
And either we're doing it wrong or they're, doing a little secret charge or whatever, but that instills a lot of suspicion and now distrust within PayPal. We're not really motivated to use PayPal anymore for any credit card charges.
Yeah.
Now we're actively looking for alternatives, right?
Yeah. They took 2 cents from us.
Yeah.
And 2 cents, when you count 1 million of users, 2 cent is something.
It'll add up.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, whatever, half a cent, like, they didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't straight up with you. Like, just be straight up.
Yeah, be straight up, be specific.
There's no reason to say 2.9 when it's 3.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's so
I went
annoying.
to school, what the hell is school for?
All right. So, full transparency. I mean, I think that's always going to serve you really well in the back end. And I think with us being more personable and showing our faces behind who's from, behind the camera, people can see you. Like, there's a human right there. There's no... And like we go on camera every week and we talk about our business truthfully, raw, and like those are ways of making, more avenues to generate trust and erase the whole thing that kind of separates us, which is the business, the computer, the screen, the mic, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because as the years go by and technology is getting better, and basically we're booking service behind a computer.
Yeah.
And we sometimes just forget that there's a person operating it. But now, I mean, you don't know nowadays that machine can actually type emails.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why we try to make it so personable, because it's like, you don't know anymore, and there's so many kind of obstacles in the way now. And that's really the only way that we're going to be distinguishable, is if we put our own voice on the line. That's it. Mm-hmm. So I think one stands out to me.
What's that?
So number 18, you're too slow to launch a product. So I think that it's really great now that I'm in the back end, because like yesterday, I feel like you can be tentative. You're so tentative because you want to make sure you have all of the options. You see all the options. You're a maximizer, right? I'm a satisficer. So that means that I like see one option, and if it's good, I'm like, okay, done. I don't care. But you want to see all the options. You want to make sure you're getting the best deal, that kind of thing. And so with us working together as a team, like we can really find a happy medium as far as like executing on an idea. So you're going to research, you're going to do all that stuff. You're going to make sure that this decision is the best decision for us, all that stuff. And I'm going to be like, okay, let's do it. What do we need to do? Like execute, right? So I think like with us, I think we made a really like kind of nice progress, really subtle. Mm-hmm. But I said, I think I need to keep you on track. And that's the role of a partner in a business, is you keep each other on track, and to call each other out and be like, no, we're moving too slow on this, or this idea is not going anywhere. And it's my responsibility to step in when it's right and say, we're moving too slow on this, or we're moving too fast on this, right?
Yeah.
Like that's your right as well. So I think that was cool, because I mean, it just shows that as partners, I'm being less afraid as to like speaking up basically on this level that you have granted me. Like you grant me all the equality, whatever. But like, if I don't step up and actually take up that mantle and execute and take those responsibilities seriously, then we're still stuck in a mood state, and we don't actually evolve. So I think that's really good for us. Like, as far as being partners in business, and then like in general too.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things when we bring up ideas together, there are certain characters or aspects of that idea that we like to kind of jump on the gun really quick.
Yeah.
But then the other person kind of say, let's slow down this part.
Yeah.
So sort of like, I'm willing to invest in anything that's good.
Yeah.
I can jump the gun really quick.
And I'm like, okay.
You're like, do you love it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you love it, or do you see yourself doing it?
Or you're just throwing your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can always throw your money and all of that stuff, and money can always be earned, but what are you willing to do the work in? Like, are you willing to put the time and effort and energy? And it takes energy. Like, surprisingly, it just takes so much from you sometimes when it's not like something that you love, right? If you don't love it, we're to the point where the work doesn't feel like work, like you shooting. You're like, I don't feel like I'm working. I'm tired, but I don't feel like I'm working, because you're shooting, you're having a good time, you're doing all these things, you're creating art. But then like emails, right?
Yeah.
the tedious stuff, right? Like you kind of like it, you work really hard, but you don't love it. So that's all I'm saying. Like, with any venture that you step into, whether it was Hey Dog or whatever, like I want you to love it as much as you love, or close enough as, photography. Because then that inspires me, like I was telling you last night, that inspires me to give everything that I have. But if I see that it's just, it would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool, but that's not really a decision. And so I think that's nice that we keep each other on track.
Yeah.
And like, I think that was a nice little subtle little breakthrough for us as far as the business stuff and planning stuff and actually making decisions together. So that's nice, B.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, B. So what else stood out to you?
I think that's mainly it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Those are the major 3 ones?
Those are the majors.
Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and we're answer a question from C-Dog Taylor. All right?
All right.
Back in a second. All right, welcome back. So we have one question, B.
All right.
And this comes from Carlton Taylor. Sup?
Sup, Taylor?
Here's the question. My wife and I are starting a family biz soon. I've been an entrepreneur for a while now, but this will be her first venture as an entrepreneur. Any tips on how to deal with a mate that has so much to learn about online business? You have plenty to say about that, right?
Well, the thing when I first started, I was not sure if I was starting a business or not.
Well, how do we deal with me like not knowing shit about things? Okay, so let's just take an SEO example. Okay, that's a classic business technique. I don't know jack about SEO, like the nitty gritty. I know what everybody else knows, but you like have some way of thinking about it, which I don't give a crap about, but you just tell me how to do it. So how do we approach that?
So basically you have to be patient. And you have to keep, you have to be patient. Yeah, I have to be patient. I have to be patient as well. It depends on what type of person you are when you're coaching someone.
We're so similar like that because we're so impatient. Like, I get it. If I'm on your side, I didn't tell you this yesterday, but if I'm on your side, I would be losing my shit too.
Yeah.
But at least I have the courtesy and the patience to say, you just be patient with me. Just tell me what to freaking do, and I will do it. Like, I'm not really understanding the theory. I just need to know what to do. So there's going to be some things, Taylor, in business where you're just going to know it like second nature.
I think you have to kind of break it down.
Break it down.
So just don't throw everything at your partner.
And don't be like just jumping. Oh, you forgot to do this. It's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, or say, why didn't you do this when they didn't know what to do?
Yeah.
So for the SEO, it's definitely a perfect example.
Yeah.
Because if you're the person that's been doing search engine optimization for your company for a long time, you developed a formula, you developed a habit in how you do things on the back end of your website.
Yep.
It's basically, you're perfect. You made it. So now you're trying to teach someone your formula.
Yeah.
You have to break it down because you're not going to get the shortcuts.
Yeah.
They don't know what the shortcuts mean.
Yeah.
So you have to really...
You were like, I don't know. It's so much crap. I was like, well,
you have to explain
then how do you expect me to get it?
All the reasons behind what you do and what the shortcuts mean before they know it's a shortcut for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little lesson because, like, I think we've been through so much of this kind of, like, arguing in the past where it's like, it's not really a big deal. It's just like, okay, just get better at it.
Yeah, don't let your partner linger and assume how to do something.
Yeah.
You should coach them in a way that they should ask you questions.
Yeah.
When they don't get or they're stuck on a certain part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what other tips on how to deal with a partner who doesn't know much about online business? What would you start with first? It's so much. Like, how would you...
there's many things to
I mean,
say.
I'm trying to break it down in my head right now. Okay, so from my understanding, like, say you wanted to sell shit online. Everybody's selling shit online, right? That's online business. But where do you start from there? I think I would start looking at people who are similar.
Yeah.
In a similar market. Go look at them.
So know your market. And while you and your partner are looking at the market, talk to each other. What's your opinion about the market?
Mm-hmm.
So
also, like, I would just sit down and have this conversation. Like, I wish we had this conversation, but I don't think we were mature enough as people and in our relationship to actually have this conversation. Even if we did, like, if we had it, we wouldn't know what to do with it. But you're mature people. So I would sit down and have this conversation and be like, I may have been in this business longer than you, but it doesn't mean I know everything. So right away, you want to set up kind of this buffer where it's like, I'm here as a guide. I want you to go and search and research on your own. And I want us to have an open path of communication, of sharing information back and forth, where it's okay to share that information. Before, I didn't feel it was safe to even tell you about things I was learning online because it was just so foreign to you.
Yeah.
And like, we didn't have that conversation. And then I was left to assume that you didn't care about what I did. And then I related that in my female brain as, if you don't care what I did,
your
you don't
goals
care about
and
me.
share yourself, like your goals and expectation.
Yeah.
And probably, you have to start systemizing from the get-go.
Systemizing,
have bi-weekly meetings where you just throw everything at each other and what you're currently thinking of, what changes you want to make, and basically develop a day where you're brainstorming on changes and if you're open towards changes. And
this podcast serves as that for us, because it's not like us to be like, let's have a meeting. It's really not like us to do that. There has to be some kind of like, it has to be a work into our actual work schedule. This show keeps us really accountable to that. So have those conversations and always say it's okay to like tell me anything. I'm not going to be angry at you personally for telling me your ideas, or if this idea sucks, or whatever kind of language
you should
use.
You can set rules. So the rules is keep your personal life from your business life.
Well, that's going to be hard. There are a couple.
Well, those are the boundaries. That's what you have to kind of present to each other. Like what happens
just be
within,
cognizant of it.
with what happens in the lab is what you're going to be speaking of.
Yeah.
And our personal life is, try not to mesh emotions with business.
I mean, I'm completely like, I've made that distinction in my mind because I think the female brain is just not like that. We take everything emotionally. But if you train yourself and be like, no, that's dumb, I shouldn't associate that with this, you just kind of have to be a little robotic about it. And I just let it go. And it's like not a big deal.
That's the reason why a lot of jobs don't hire family members together. Because they think the other family member is like going to be butthurt over something or some drama.
Right. But as long as you have the rules in place and the guidelines, like we tell John, because he's a relative and you and I are a couple or whatever, and we actually work with a lot of relatives, we just tell them straight up. It's like, it's not you personally. This is just how business is done. This is business. This is go time, right? That's our phrase around here. It's go time. So there's no reason to get butthurt over ideas or not taking suggestions, but always have that open line of communication where it's like, it's okay to talk about shit. Because a lot of times people feel, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to create a rift or an argument. And it's like, well, if you don't say anything, then you're the one that's at a loss.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to feel like, oh, I didn't get my say, or nobody listens to me, or whatever, all that kind of BS that you really don't want to deal with because you're trying to get a business up and running. Like, it's go time. So what else? Anything else?
I feel that's mainly it. I mean, we can elaborate even more, but it will be forever.
Yeah, you can go on and on. But thank you for that question, Taylor. We appreciate it. And you can ask questions just like that, and we will answer the crap out of them on this show. So what are we looking forward to this week? You have a wedding coming up.
Yeah.
First wedding of the year.
Right? Yeah, first wedding of the year.
Cool. Where are you headed to?
Malibu.
Phew.
Yeah, very far from here.
From here.
But it's cool.
Yeah, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You'll probably be like, oh, I miss this.
Other than that, just always looking forward to Maui.
Yeah.
Which is next
we're going
month.
to Maui.
Yeah.
Wow. We better get Maui ready.
I would say we need, or I need a vacay.
Yeah. You need a vacay.
Yeah, I need a vacay.
You're more the one who wants to get out and travel.
it just helps my brain. Like, yeah, I feel like when you're stuck in one place, your brain's not functioning at its optimal level. And when you're traveling, you're experimenting, like, or you're experiencing like other culture, you're just learning, you know,
I'm not going to learn anything when I go to Maui. I'm just going to sit there.
I mean, other than Maui, you've been in Maui already, like other countries. Yeah.
Well, we're looking at Iceland, right? For the honeymoon. Yeah. We're looking at Iceland.
That's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you some places that I found. But anyway, some other news before we leave you guys. I will be speaking at San Diego podcast movement in San Diego. I'll link it up. And I don't know what I'm going to be speaking about. I'm going to be vlogging about the ideas I'm having, and I'm also going to be practicing like crazy until that time comes, which is in March 28th on a Saturday, I believe. So I'm going to be joined with like so many awesome people, like Kate Erickson from Entrepreneur on Fire, Omar from Business Republic, and Jared Easley from Starve the Doubts podcast. And it's going to be really, really interesting, really cool, really new, really scary. I'm getting nervous just talking about it. I'm getting so nervous right now. Like my ass is actually sweating. So I'm going to be practicing. And I'm really excited for that opportunity. And so that's what's going on.
Kobe.
That's what's on my mind. It's go time. And so we'll see you guys in the next episode. All right?
All right.
Take care, lab rats.
Yeah.
Once again, my name is Megan.
No, I'm Kevin.
We're out.